Sorry, give me a second. My mic's in my throat, just itchy. So, welcome back everyone. ELC, and I'm gonna say this, it's no longer the playoffs, it's the grand final. Something everyone's excited to see. Sadly to say, it's not a best of 5 like normally, it's a best of 3 with a lot of OT to be prepared for. So, everyone should be welcome. He's not frozen, but not frozen this time. And my green screen is on. It just kind of broke his camera, destroyed everything. So we kept it like this because it was funny. But why don't you give yourself a quick introduction, Dan? And we'll hopefully go right into it soon.
Yeah, well, hi everybody, I'm Dan. Yeah, I'm great. I'm very happy to be casting this grand final in the ELC minor league. I have an Mj1 Neptor versus the Femboy project today. So, two very closely contested teams. I was looking at the table before this game, and they are literally neck and neck in points and wins. It looks like Mj1 have a little bit of an edge in the round difference, but honestly, these teams otherwise look incredibly closely matched.
You're right about that. I'm excited to see it. We'll go into the map video very quickly because you've seen what the Femboy project can do before. Mj1 is a bit new to us on stream, but they're always good when they do play. So let's head into the map pool, and then we'll head into the match right away. So, as you can see, we have Chalet, Nighthaven Labs, and Border being our map pick. Something that we love to see, but something that's always a bit of a, surprise to us, and I'm sure it's going to surprise everyone at home. Life is going to be taken by the horns. Don't worry about it, it is what it is, and we love to see it. So, give me a quick rundown on what you think about this, Dan.
Honestly, the maps don't surprise me too much. They're fairly ordinary picks, but I'm excited about that border choice. Bit of a slightly different map for me, at least. But Chalet and Labs, very loved maps by many teams. Both a little bit edge on the attacker side, I would say. But otherwise, I think they're great choices. I love them.
Happy to hear that. You know it as well as I do that it is great to see these teams starting up and just, getting a little bit ahead of themselves. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we have to actually go into the match. One of the most important factors is the ban phase, and we'll be starting it in just a moment. The players didn't even wait for us. They're heading into Chalet. So, as we head into it, we'll give you guys a sneak peek into what we're looking at for the ban phase. As always, it's a little bit hectic, but it's always beloved very quickly, very early on. So, let's go in. Let's see. Your first bans are Clash and Montaigne. As much as I love Monty, he's always a bit of a menace in my games, and I'm sure a lot of people at home can agree. So, anything you got to say, anything you want to agree for or disagree for, I guess, in this case?
No, I think I agree with that. It doesn't surprise me that those shields are off the board immediately. Still a massive pain, despite changes and despite these things that Ubisoft have done. Still really hated by everybody. I can't really blame them. They are very annoying. And Valkyrie and Ace being those second bans there. Again, I'm kind of best sad about the Ace ban, but it does make sense to me. A lot of teams are going towards those more hard breach side bans. Some teams even end up banning more than one hard breach. We'll see if that happens later on in the game. But I imagine we'll probably stick with the one for now. And yeah, Valkyrie as well. Very powerful operator for a lot of intel. And for any map these days, really. I think it's a great choice. I love the MPX as well. Always love that gun. And that kill with the C4. So again, really not surprised there to see that chosen.
Happy to hear you bring up guns because of the fact I don't get to see a lot of Orcs. Yes, his gun is fantastic. If you like Legion but don't like the kit, Orcs is a great contender for that. But also just for the fact of I like getting into the fight. I like using that surprise flank ability for the hatches. But how do you feel about bringing a character like Oryx on this map? Yes, he takes 10 HP each time he goes through the wall, so don't worry about his HP. You don't need to bring a dog for it. It's not that much. But it kind of seems like something's missing here.
Yeah, it does. It does a bit. I can't see Alliance right now. That's fine. We'll see if it fixes itself in a second. I do like the always pick. I can't work out what you think is missing. Do you think an operator is missing? Do you think a certain weapon's missing? What do you think is missing? I can't think of anything.
Well, for me, I'm going to have to say it's most likely an operator, because if it's not, it's going to have to be something along the lines of they're picked wrong. They've chosen this as their idea, and it might not be going well for them. Sorry. My throat just had to clank up right there. But as you can see, Roar's already in the building, already going through it. Roar versus Oryx is actually a much better favorite for him. So as long as this Roar can stay alive to get onto the site, he's going to be able to destroy that very quickly without much hassle. Only problem you'll ever have to think of is what's behind the door. And as you can see, they're sneaking in as quickly as they can, but there's not a lot they can get away with.
Well, now the attacks are making their way into the kitchen, pushes all the way in. Aslor takes out the first kill of the game onto the mute. That's Jon's off the board immediately. Now it moves some of what looks like their roam presence on the first floor. And I think that's a great start for the attack. Looks like there's one more defender though, sneaking around in the trophy area. Now moves their way into kitchen. But Patient gets a double kill in the meantime up on the lobby side of the map. And now more kills coming through from Ice as he has to flank onto the person in West Main. But can he see the other? There's one more attacker remaining in the area. It looks like the buck is there and he gets taken out by Ice. Double kill for him and a double kill for Patient on the round. And it leaves now the Habana on her own in West Main.
Well, I'm not going to count Mj1 out for this. Habana being the last one standing does leave a lot of utility in her pocket, but the fact that that's not sight, kitchen isn't sight, doesn't leave a lot of options. So he's going to have to try and push this person in kitchen while watching for any sort of flanks or just any sort of off angles, which is a very high chance, especially with the hatches open. But for now, they're just trying to play it safe. It is working out in her favor, giving that 1 minute, giving her ability to push up little by little. She is taking space. The only problem is she's now coming to somewhere where she doesn't have any drones, any intel. She can hear the player directly above her, but she can't give away too much of a position for it. As we can see, the player has actually rotated back up the staircase safely as well, meaning that you've now lost your best winnable fight that you could have taken in a 1v1 situation. But now it's a 3v1. You have to try and push the staircase. 30 seconds. This round doesn't look the best, but never count out an operator. It's never over till the gridlock starts singing and the bullets stop flying. As you can see with the quick pixel, knows where the pre-fires are, knows where the angle should be, finds the OMI, but only 20 seconds left. Does not have the HP to just run through that door, but is going to get pre-fired quickly, nipping off the head of her. I'm going to say Fems are always being fatals for this match. So we're going to have to see how this plays out more and more as we go forward.
Absolutely. Great first start for the defensive side there. Now we're going down to the bar and gaming room for the next round. I think it was a really good roam play there. Great double kills from Ice and Patient respectively. They just cleared out the attacks. Now obviously attackers communicated well enough. Perhaps they didn't drone well enough at the start of the round. They didn't have those positions locked down, and that just honestly was their downfall in the end. Because you have to isolate those roamers, coordinate your pushes and get them from ideally multiple angles. I think in that case it would have worked out well to have multiple angles. I think it looked like they all went kind of through the same way, through West Main there, and ultimately it did not pay out for them. They had to cover multiple angles, maybe come through from the lobby itself, or perhaps even come through the bar window, something like that, just to attack from multiple angles, rather than taking it all through West Main, because that never usually works in your favour. Yeah, otherwise we went back down to bar. Looks like there's more roaming for the attackers to deal with.
Alright. You can say more roaming, but from what I can see, it looks like the new operator on Aspirin there has actually just decided to, give a nice big cut of the cake, take a little bit of the map off the table, making sure that if somebody is going to go for the jump and try to go for the rush, they're going to have to work through a lot of utility to do that, which is great, but not when the operator Thatcher is still on the board, because he's one of the few ones where he can still disable a lot of gadgets and a lot of utility. I can't wait for his changes that are coming in the next patch, but for now, it's just gonna have to come out to whether or not these attackers can read the play, use the Thatcher and go straight for sight, because as they're playing it, it's a 2-1-2, meaning that there's only one person even close to sight. Everybody else is on either the second floor trying to hold it and the top, or just playing on a staircase. Biggest problem I can see coming out right now is the fact of they're pushing in the kitchen, no problem. They've got a lot of map control, they're just pushing up straight. There's no real drone economy to talk about with this, because as we've seen now, they've only got 2 drones that are currently up. They're trying to use the last 3 that they have saved, and those will tick down very quickly if they play them recklessly. Only question I've got for you, are you ready to rumble? Because the first engagement's about to start.
It sure is. What I do think, there's definitely lacking in drone presence. That's going to be a big issue, especially with some of the roaming we've seen. It's like one player in the basement now. Geo's going to be playing on the bottom of West Main. Could flank up later on. But yeah, I think the fight's about to take place. I see some shooting, but no kills yet. Frost face though, checking for the air jab, and I don't think there's actually one there. The other is. We're on the side, she gets it and has to run away because she's now revealed her location. Roams all the way back down towards blue. Now Kodan, the Buck, and Zorn is going to be making their way through alongside Capital, Aslor through the office. This is good progress made. About halfway through the round, they've taken a good portion of the map. Looks like they cleared the first floor as well. Now they're making their way to the second, looking at to clear out this library side. Very important part of the map to take control of on this bomb site. You can get full vertical control from there and then take the site. It looks like there's only 2 players from what I can see on the top floor here. Thatcher runs in a bit recklessly there and does not see Ice on the staircase, and Patient gets another kill onto Zorn in the meantime, and allows the attackers in a 3v5.
Oh, well, hopefully they can catch one more, and yes, it is. Ice getting a beautiful hit on Dakota, exactly what was necessary, making it a 2v1, now down to a 1v5. Not a lot of options for this last attacker standing, but it's still not going to be enough either. Femboy take it quickly, and that's the second round of them. Their playstyles actually changed since the last time I've seen them. You weren't here last time, so you may not have known, but for the lower bracket final they got sent down to by Mj1, their history on this map has been always quite, let's try to get to it, but if not, we take every gunfight we have, we play it aggressive. This time they're just waiting for Neptor to try to walk up on them, and it's like, do you want to step in a frost mat at this point? It's working wonders, yes, but it's whether or not Fem can keep playing their game when it comes to their attack coming soon. For now, MJ's sort of reading it. They're testing the waters. They're not rushing in too quickly. They're taking a lot of map control early, which is normally great, but I feel like it's just the timers taking away, and especially with how Femboy likes to play it. They like to play it hard but slow. Take the endurance battle, and it is working out with them, especially in the first 2 rounds of that. But now I'm going to ask you a very quick question, because we're seeing Ella be brought now, and this is one of the points I made before for Femboy, is the fact that their playstyles have always been quite adaptive, changing up their roster, being prepared for it. So, what do you think about this? Because as we're seeing, we've got some really amazing drones. I'm taking that, and I recommend everybody at home start using drones like that, because some of the ranked game drones I've seen are not great. But sorry, question is, what do you think about the operator lineup for the attack?
I think it's. I enjoy it. I think I like obviously the Thatcher and Thermite, a crucial combo, especially on the kitchen. I love Ram, which is one of my favourite operators to play right now. Great for vertical angles, amazing R4C. I love the Blackbird as well. Great choice. Still very powerful operator to choose. And speaking of him, he's jumping straight into wine there, which is nice and quickly. I like the pick from Zorn as well. I think it's a good choice. I don't think anything's missing. I mean, I would like maybe a DKB or a Jackal to take care more of this roam. Just an operator just to kind of help them out, speed up this roam clear, because they had a really good start, but then once it gets to the execute and you have to try and move around and rotate, it takes a bit too long to do that. I think the last round, for example, they could have had someone on outside library, for example, outside the big window, or even a single one, or both, and just to help clear out that roam. But I think maybe a DKB or a Jackal could be really nice. Otherwise, I enjoy it. How about you? Do you like it?
I love it, and especially with how we're seeing this. But for now, I'm actually more worried about the Pulse. If Pulse can catch off this IQ, whether it be through gun skill or just through C4 just launching perfectly on the door, it could go huge. It does land out, but it's just getting caught barely on the door frame. Ayana, gotta be prepared for that, and this is one of the biggest points where it comes looking at how these teams play. One is taking it slow and methodically, trying to get into position, while the other one is just waiting and baiting, and it's working masterfully. One quick question. That bait from the drone worked out perfectly. Mute thought it was a flashbang, but it wasn't, and he loses his life for it. But a quick trade from Ice with the long range working wonders. But as the pushing comes through, Blackbeard does actually refrag for his teammate and evening things up, making it 3v3. As you can see with how quick these battles are becoming, you don't have a lot of time to think with a minute left, and they're just trying to push site.
They're trying to get as fast as they can, but also not waste. They're trying to be as fast as they can, but also not be too silly with pushing in too fast. And here's the Thermite now opening the breach, pushing this Pulse off of that crucial position in front of the main wall. He does no C4 left, of course, the 90 plants, but the breach does open. It looks like the Pulse actually is staying close to the breach. Hasn't dropped down the hatch. He's going to peek with his pistol. That's very brave. Eventually now he's going to finally drop down. With 45 seconds on the clock, a 3v3. Again, he's just going to be using this Pulse scanner for information here. Great pings here on the basement. Sees 2 people in the lobby. Now then only one person's going to be potentially above or elsewhere on the map. This is great intel for the defensive side.
You're right about that, but Thermite's going for the plant, but he gets shot because of the call-out. Thatcher is able to cover him, though. For now, it's just going to have to come up to where this Blackbird can clear the rest of the site and go for the kills. There's Thatcher and Thermite being taken out quick with that beautiful pistol, but Blackbird does get his own. For now, it's 1v1. Thatcher will be raised for it, but Pulse is there just to cause a little bit of havoc. It's not going to be enough where the shield can just knock you down. You got to go for the kills. Pulse barely ducking and diving out of it, and he wins because of the pistol. Takes the kill. Well, how do you feel about the new Glock pistol? Because I love it to bits. Just, it's like having an SMG secondary without, like, the big sort of clunkiness of it.
It's actually really nice to use. I think that scope is wonderful. It kind of reminds me of like a COD scope. It's so nice to use, and clearly Pulse loves it too. That was a great clutch from him. The attackers really should have that round in the bag. I think it was a 2v1 clutch there at the end of that round to finish off that Blackbeard. That Blackbeard should have killed him as soon as he knocked him down on the floor. He should be dead already, really, as soon as he falls down. But no, they somehow lose that, and it's 3-0 now on the match. And then we see the Azami and Thermite banned. So again, I was mentioning earlier on how the hard breaches tend to be banned these days, and it's continuing here. Ace and Thermite off the board. Azami, not a surprise there on Chalet. She is such a nice operator, and the strategies I've seen with Azami are just amazing, and Chalet is no different to that, especially on the library side. But yeah, I think that's a great choice on the attacking side. Do you like Azami in this map too?
Oh, I love Azami on this map. Couple things that I'd like to change because of how strong she is with like drone holes and being able to just completely shut out certain angles. It should have a little bit longer of a deploy time because of the fact of it's great to be able to, all right, hey, we've set up site like this. We've got shields, reinforcement, things like that. They haven't even pinged our Asami yet. You walk into the site next time and it's completely different. Doors are closed up with Asami barriers. Drone holes are covered like this one-way peaks. You don't really have that option anymore to try and rush it because of how strong of an operator she is. But I also like the Goyo traps, and the fact that we are seeing Cade finally make it through a ban phase kind of goes to show that these attackers are here to be like, hey, we know how to attack this, we know how to play this. I'm hoping they have an answer, because right now we do have one donut in the lobby, meaning that this Legion is going to be trying to get a little bit electric. But you know what else gets electric very early is Goyo with that Vector absolutely dominating. It's such a punishing gun. It used to have an ACOG, and I understand why it had to be taken away.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. That change, but it doesn't make a difference to Patient. Even the 1x scope, he's going 6-2 right now in this game, popping off so far in the first 4 rounds. And now there's another player approaching him on the piano side, but just runs away just before he can do any major damage. Great discipline there, just to run away, not peek too aggressively, and get taken off the board. We're seeing some pressure on outside office too. Again, no hard breaches chosen for this attacking side. I didn't have many choices to choose from. They are dwindling as the game goes on. Blackbeard's going to be making his way into Piano in the meantime. Sees the Goya on the end of Piano, but can't quite get the kill. But in the meantime, Von's looking the wrong way, and Aspen gets the kill and looking for a second and does get it. But can he get the third? Yes, he can. Zorn gets taken off the board as well, leaving now Nomad on her lonesome in the library. And it's a great play from Aspen.
I'm gonna say that P90 was nuts. It is lethal. Luckily, the timeout has been called for MJ, and I completely understand it, especially when you're getting wall banged like that. That is painful, but the call did work out in their favor most of all. So, main important facts to call out for this. It's best that they do give that tactical timeout that they requested, and that's necessary. They have 1 per map, so don't hold it against them from using it early, especially when we've seen a masterclass on how to defend. It was fast, it was rushed, it was slowed when it needed to be, but then it was just the patience from that mute upstairs that completely destroyed any morale this team had. I'm kind of going to say that, hey, Mj1, wake up, show us what you had in the semi-finals before, because they won the last time. They sent Femboy down to the lower bracket, but like a Phoenix, or in this case, like any hard-willed, strong veteran player, they've stood back up. They've seen what's smeared them in their face and just been like, no, we will take it, but we will fight back. They are absolutely going for the demonic win right now. So I'm going to ask you just very quickly, how do you improve your attack?
I think I mentioned the KB and Jackal earlier on. I think that round would have been a great chance to pick Jackal, because if they had the Jackal, they could have tracked the mute in the corner there behind the half wall, and it could have taken him off the board really quickly. I think maybe an operator like that would be great, and just more drone work, more communications needed. I mean, the Blackbeard just sprinted through Piano there. If he had been called, if that something had been called out about the mute or about someone in office, because they had someone on the office door early in the round, and he saw the shots from the mute and then didn't seem to check it when he walked back in. Maybe he thought he reloaded or something, I have no idea. Maybe he was scared of that door and just thought, I'll just run through and see what happens, and did not pay off at all in that particular case. But I think, yeah, a Jackal or a Cable would be good. I don't know about many operator choices. The operators they're choosing are pretty good. I mean, honestly, you mentioned the great lineups in the previous round. They do have the hard beach gadgets being chosen too, so they have utility. They have the right people. Just the wrong communication. And I think that's the main thing they need to work on. I think hopefully they're going to work on that now. They are going to be picking a couple of different operators since that timeout. I love the striker choice as well. I love striker myself. I love their gun. And a utility. The fact you can bring a EMP and a hard breach on one character is just nuts to me. So I love that. I love that utility. I think that's the main thing. I think maybe the keyboard jackal, but just communication is the main thing for me. How about you?
Oh, I'm happy to hear you saying that because at the moment I do believe they're cooking, and that's the best point of it. Whether it comes down to their mental state of just being absolutely perfect, whether the Fem project have actually woken up and just brought the heat, or whether it's just, it might not be an operator pick, as you've said. It could just be coming down to playstyle and working perfectly at reading their opponents, doing the research. But a 4-2 split is Mj1's best chance at now, which is normally what they're expecting to have. But if Fem can take away with this, we know they're a team that can shut out very quickly without much opposition. So it all comes down to how well can we see a change in this round. The last time they didn't even make it past half the map. This time they're running ahead of time, jumping straight in, taking the quick play, taking that rush, trying to make sure they have enough of a play. A quick unfortunate disconnect. It's a wee bit on the early side, it's the late side, so it's not great for this. But we will be able to catch up with him in a second if that's necessary. But as you can see, it does not matter. A quick, just patience on that Vector, destroying very early on, going for that kill. They catch the player on the staircase, pushing him out of position. But even if you can see through the fire and the flames, you may not be able to find him if he backs off in time. Only problem is, do they know about the player in library? Have they droned enough of it?
I mean, what they may have not. I think I see two people there in the library. Takes out one. Patient gets the refrag. Oh, no, not refrag. It's a frost mat on that side. Patient gets another kill. 9 and 2 now in this game. He's still in the library. Looks like he's now solo on his own, right behind this wall, behind the mirror window. Can he get another kill? Looks like an attacker's walking up face slowly. But again, it looks so good at the start. They had a great control. Then he just completely got stumped. But then he finally does get refragged by Aslar. So that's a great kill there. Really important one for this round. And leaves it in a 2v2 for the attack. That disconnect may have saved them slightly, put them in an early disadvantage, but it might not mean a huge amount for Femboy here if they can be able to win still. Oh, and I think Nomad just flashed herself there inside the lobby, but that's fine. Happens to the best of us. She's going to make her way outside the bar here, right outside the bomb site. Very dangerous place to be in, especially with that Ella shotgun right beside the door, prone behind the feet holes too, now behind the bar. And pause will come through afterwards, that's fine. It looks like it might make a huge difference. We're going to see what happens. Someone about to peek the hatch, but Ella can't quite get the peek onto it. This Ella Scorpion, such a perfect weapon, especially from this range. We'll see what they can do in the last 20 seconds. Ice gets one kill, and Jans gets the second with that Scorpion. And Nomad just sprinting out the side. I guess he was trying to bait something. I'm not so sure what she was doing. Oh, it looks like she was shooting there towards some of the utility, but couldn't finish off. And despite the early disadvantage.
Yeah. So you're going to have to wait. They're going to have to come back to our lobby faces in a second as the Reels does come out. Something that you have to remember as well when it comes to things like this in Siege. It's a small indie dev team. Well, that's the joke we love to say. But they are good at the game. They are good at what they know, and we love to see it as well. So you can give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt for it and a little bit of fault. Only factor is whether or not they can actually take the plays. You've seen how the Femboy project like to do it. They're always building, learning, and specifically counting the opponent's plays. While Mj1, from what I just did as research very quickly, their main factor is picking out the meta stats, making sure that they can take the gunfights, and using their superior skills. When you're up against a team that's almost equal to you and likes to counter you, you have to adapt very quickly, which we're going to have to see if that can be put to the test right now. So, give me your two thoughts quickly on the two teams, because it looks like they're wanting to go back into this very quickly. We're just waiting for one player to jump back in.
Yeah, sounds good. And I think you said it really correct. I think a lot of that is really good. I think the thing about MJ is they clearly have they have a great lineup. They have a great initial plan, but I think they end up getting a bit nervous in the rounds. And maybe it's nerves, or I mean, they seem to be a very experienced team, so I'd be surprised if that was the case. I think maybe they're more there. They know what the Femboy team is made of from playing them previously. Maybe they saw how good they were at fragging and then are a bit afraid to take those gunfights, afraid to go forward. Look at in that last round, they had great communication and great confidence to zoom straight into Office and take Piano, open up that utility, try and take it off the board. Then already frags were coming out really quickly. So I think the fragging potential from Femboy is really paying off. They're really aiming amazingly today. We saw already Patient there on, I think it might be 9 or 10 kills at this point in the round. As go back into the 6th round, back down to the kitchen. I think that honestly has been their defining factor so far. Their fragging potential has really helped them out, and that's been their kind of, I don't want to say their crutch because the strategies have also been very, very powerful. But yeah, honestly, I think that's I think you said a lot of it already that I was going to say. So hopefully we can see them come out. Looks like already Finger and Blitz coming out. Got the operators mixed up. Very aggressive choices. Line 2. So 3 very aggressive operators which can do well for an aggressive push. I'd be sad to see them do that because often it's a kind of a 1 round thing. So they might get 1 round out of it. But ultimately, I mean, 1 round is kind of what they need right now because going 6-0 into the second half would not be good for the side of MJ.
It feels like I shouldn't be giving away the script. Mj1 being a French roster, meaning J'adore le Français, J'adore le Siege, and they gotta fight through it time and time again. But that also means they're up against the British this time in the Femboy project, meaning that they're against their natural enemies. So there's a lot of bad blood to be played here. But a 0-5 means that, hey, it's time to wake up. Time to get the get the baker out, get the Le Pétersu. Right, my brain just can't do French today. Just watching how the Blackbeard rushes straight into the kitchen, finds one. Sorry, watching how the Blitz rushes in and gets one. But Lion actually getting down in the engagement early upstairs. And with that quick 2-piece as well, evening the odds. Luckily, there is a knife going out as people drop from the sky. L getting a quick hot drop, gets 1 pick, has to find the Blitz, gets it with a quick aim as well. Just patient, absolutely having no patience for the opponent today. Hopefully, this Grim can make the clutch that's necessary. We've seen this team do it before. They need to be a demon, but no, that fire rate on that gun just works wonders. This is the problem you'll see. These teams love it when they can find that gap and just go for the squeezing. But 0-6, okay. It wasn't their map pick, so they have the Siege curse there. Caster curses happen all the time as well. But the main important factor is the fact that next map is Nighthaven Labs. If you cannot do great on a map like Chalet, that means you have to go back to basics on a map like Nighthaven Labs, where Femboy will obviously be able to clutch back since it was their pick. So, here comes the most important factor. What bans are going to be good enough to stop this, because it's now the penultimate round again.
Yeah, it's a match point and the first map point for the side of Femboy. Would not be a good initial kind of psychological situation for the side of MJ. It's not good to be losing by such a large margin too. It's not going to be very good for them at all going into map 2. Now, typically we do see teams lose on their map pick. It seems to be a trend that happens a lot. So not too much of a shock to see that this map was chosen by MJ and they're currently losing it. But by this much, it is a bit more worrying, to say the least. We'll be going up to the second floor first. And we'll see what they can do on this first map. It's going to have to be an initial really strong start. It's going to be a long way to go. It's going to be a lot of psychological warfare going on with them. It looks like a similar kind of lineup choice in the Capital brought out by Geo. Great universal pick. I think you're right about if you struggle on a map like Chalet, it is a sign that something's going drastically wrong. I mean, Chalet is a map that's been in the pool for years now. It's been reworked so years ago as well. So the team should know about it by now. They should know the default. They should know how to attack and defend it, respectively. Labs is a little bit newer, but I still think it's a universally really, it's chosen a lot by a lot of teams. It's really popular in Pro League and competitive in general. So I imagine that similar issues, unless they have really defined strats. I want to say the sides are switching. So MJ actually started on defense first on Labs. So if they do well here, they may very well do well, at least at the beginning, because initial momentum will do really big things for them at the start of map 2. But hopefully they can come back in map 1.
Well, I'm going to have to hold you to that, especially on this point, because as we're seeing the new operator be brought in, as we're saying that they have switched, would you count Chalet as a defender-sided map?
For me, I think it's actually a bit more on the attacker edge for me. Typically, I see attackers doing better on it. I mean, clearly in this map, it's the opposite, but in other games I've seen, it seems to be the attackers, as long as they have a good plan, I seem to see that attackers actually win slightly more. But of course, it depends on the team, depends on the day, the level of player watching. But for me, it's probably more on the attacker edge, but it's really 50-50.
Okay.
If you forced me to choose, I'd say attacker.
I can hold you to that. You can say it's attacker favored, but like statistically, the actual answer is it's defender favored, especially when you've got a player that can get one pick, but then get traded off immediately by patience getting taken out. To be fair, is that a trade I would want to have? Losing Sentry for the Ash? No, but losing that player, fantastic. Taking out patience early. Yunus getting a second one as well. That's a quick wake up to 3v4. It's still clutchable. You have to be able to remember this. This is Rainbow Six Siege. So, and now we're in the X factor, meaning that anything can happen. But with that new operator on that vector can absolutely work. But Blackbeard is your one counter you don't want to be needing, especially when you've got Deimos there as well. That nade and that constant ping. The Deimos though does lose his life. Luckily, he is traded quickly by this buck. So it's working out for their favor of a 2v3. Site is upstairs, meaning there's 2 choke points that they need to hold. But whether or not they have the time and the ability to actually hold out for a full minute or to go for the kills to make their picks, because it's no longer a factor of trading 1-for-1, because you will lose that battle. It's all going to come down to whether or not you can take your swings or take your picks. Hopefully, they do have an answer for this.
I think it's really useful they have control of the bottom floor. I think that buck can be utilised here by Jans potentially to put pressure on the defenders. But they might not need to. Weiss gets a kill on Rappel. Leads down to Asdor now in the 1v3. Can he clutch it after Tipa's team in the game? He tries to peek out. I think he's close to C4 there, I want to say. But didn't quite land, and the diffuser has gone down. And now he's in an even worse situation. Tried to hit the person in the window, but the SMG11 is just not powerful enough against Buck C9. And it's a 7-0 on map 1 for the side of Femboy.
So, as we can all see, that was a harsh one to first swallow, and I'm sure we'll have a couple more for days. Just gotta be prepared for that sort of thing to happen. You'll come back to our lovely faces in a second, but I just want to look at the stats. 12 on patience, 9 on ice. It goes to show that the roster was the main factor. It wasn't coming out to people leaving or changing anything just yet. It was just coming out to, did they want to fight it? Yes, of course they did. I would have loved to see how it had played out more. But as you can see with that, it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. They had a lot of chances to go for it. Don't catch me wrong. But it's one of those things where we need to make sure we have everything set. As you can see below me now, we've got our next map coming up, Night Haven Labs. That was Fem's pick. If they can take it 7-0 again, I will eat a hat today. But it's going to have to be a really nice French suede hat. But if not, I'm going to get a Guinness and I'll make sure everyone gets to see it. For now, I need to ask you a quick question, Dan. Where did your camera go? It's just gone.
Oh, it's vanished.
One of those things.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. It's back.
I've returned. That's fine. I've vanished for a second, but that's all right. What's the question?
So, simple question of, what do you like or dislike about Night Haven Labs?
I think it's a very spacious map. That's the one thing I do really enjoy about it. Very nice to play on, very versatile, lots of roaming potential. I think I probably dislike the amount of breaches, maybe. I think if I had to really pick, I mean, it's a really beautiful map. It's hard to pick something that I really don't like. I mean, I think what can be challenging is clearing it on the attack, because of the amount of roaming, you need a lot of communication, a lot of flank drones, a lot of flank watch in general. You know, maybe perhaps the Nomad or a physical person or a drone, whatever works best. I think that's a bit annoying to play on. And a lot of breaching to do. You often need 2 breaches on this map, in my experience, because there's just so many walls to open, especially on that top floor attack. So I would say that would be probably the biggest things I would mention. How about you?
Okay, I can understand that. For me, Night Haven Labs is home. It's somewhere that I love bringing Cali. I love bringing hard breaches like Thermite and trying to breach as quickly as I can. Even when all hard breaches have been banned sometimes and you just get one, I'll still run it because I know the factor of just the impact of having the ability to make some holes in the wall, making some rotations through things where people are like, we're trying to deny you, can be so impactful just for the phantom pressure it brings. So again, Mj1, fair enough. 7-0, take it in your pocket, take it, leave it aside, it's fine, it happens. They are better than this. And I mean to show this by going through the bracket right now, and I'll quickly pull it up now in a second. But they were the ones that actually took Fem out earlier on this bracket. They sent them down. And that's one of the weirdest points as well. They beat no expectations, which even Fem almost lost to. Fem had the more, I'm going to say, meteoric rise, making it through all of the lower bracket, all of the losers' chances, all the way till now. Meaning that no matter how you want to see it or how you choose to face it, it's never going to be over like this. I can say this just by standing points. Fem have done what would anyone be called an underdog run story. It should be celebrated, but Mj1 are definitely not the people we're expecting. That's 7-0. I'm okay with calling it a fluke, but I know for a fact I will eat my words as it's coming soon. Quick thing, the players are getting aggressive and getting ready to go into the lobby, so we'll go for a quick break. We'll go for a quick loading into this match, and we'll see you guys in a couple seconds. So, Night Haven Labs, see you in there.
See you soon.
And as we come back to the lovely bands, we have Ace and Bandit being removed. Not what I was expecting, but something we do like to see.
Yeah, very opposite bans there from both teams. It makes sense because we've seen a lot of hard breach bans so far, and yeah, actually both of the attacking bans are on those hard breach denial devices. Doesn't surprise me at all, especially with this map. I mean, it's going to become even easier to open up the walls, but when a hard breacher being removed is it's not so bad. They have plenty of other options available. They're going to choose only one. They're going to choose a thermite on the attack. Maybe there's some hard breach gadgets chosen in between, and we'll then go from there. I do enjoy the Clash pick. Clash is in play this time. She was banned on map number 1, which is a 7-0 out from Femboy, as of course I'm sure a lot of you we'll see in the top right of the screen. You might have been able to watch it. It was quite a showing from Femboy. They're on the attacking side to start with this time. Do you think that could make a big difference here for MJ being on the defense?
Oh, yes, because we've not seen a lot of MJ's defense. We only got one quick round of it, and it was systematically parted in Chalet. So, on a map like this, which I call Second Clubhouse, there's a lot of factors to it. Whether you're just using the Asami in some nice quick peek holes, or using the castle to make sure you're slowing down any Monties or anyone trying to push up the rafters, you have to try and dedicate to a split push. You know that they're going to try and execute something once they find a gap. But as you can see, they're trying to make sure that this entire walkway is closed up. But Thermite's going to make a big hole right now and just ruin that plan very quickly on. Nobody's actually going to be there, but that the pressure it builds is going to be a bit of a devastation for them.
Yeah, this fan pressure you speak of is really important. I think I don't commonly see this push. It's not on my experience through warehouse like this. Typically, you go straight through connector or the main door, but going through garage is a really good idea. It means that a lot of the pressure on catwalk will just be kind of diminished because they get scared of staying there. They're forced back into server, into the pillar area. No matter no matter where they go, they're going to be pressurized from that area. And having garage there, really good start from the attack. And I think having Monty just asked to stand there and scare them away will help out tremendously. Now they have, I think, full control of that garage side already.
Well, I'm happy to hear you say that because, as you can see, Monty's already walked up to the staircase. Normally, you don't want him getting this far without being, like, punished or at least watched. If he can walk the rest of the way up the rafters, he can be just that little bit of a menace. For now, there's no one really there to stop him or force him out of position. And anybody else, such as this Deimos trying to come to the garage, can actually read and be a little bit more of a problem, especially if Monty goes for the swing and maybe finds this castle or this Melusi hiding in the corners. For now, the rafters area is open. There's a lot here that can be done. Deimos is up the rafter as well now, and there's just so much they can do. Only problem is, one of your direct counters is on the board, Clash. Anything you try to do while that Clash is there and that rotation hole has been open now for both sides means that it's got to be drop the shield, go for the fight. Deimos is downstairs, so the call it has come out to his teammate to be prepared for it just in case they're flanking. But for now, they don't have a lot of choices. A minute left, timer's taken down, they've got to go for the fight. You've got to be respectful. You've got to be prepared for this. If they try to go for that direct challenge and try to think, oh, it's nothing, Clash is there. Yeah, she can drop that shield quickly, but there's somebody else watching and covering it as well. Just patience goes down, beating it, but that shield is going to be able to be picked up just in time before it gets destroyed by that nade. But Deimos isn't spotted on the rafters, meaning Castle's right to be watching it. Monty's stuck outside. 30 seconds left. That timer is not your friend as that Clash changes position. Melusi comes up. Castle gets one, takes it out. But luckily for us, Deimos takes it away and stops him from being a flawless. Gotta be prepared for this Monty coming up from behind them though. If they just forgot about it, it's gonna be a ruin of a day. And he does. Monty gets one, but he is quickly clapped back. But Yunos does answer it as well, making it a 2v2 very quickly as the flash comes through. Castle gets one while Flash going for that pre-fire, working out wonders. And Coda ends the round, taking out that Deimos.
I was going to worry there that the attackers might be able to flag their way through this round, but thankfully the defenders do take it. They wasted so much time with that clash, despite having the initial good start. Femboy just couldn't get through onto the site quick enough. And the flank on Monty came a little bit late. If it came a little bit earlier, he may have been able to get more from it. But that flank was a really good idea, just to apply pressure on that side of the map. And yeah, they just ran out of time. There's 30 seconds left. They still hadn't taken control of the site fully. They just kind of sat on rafters and didn't do much with it. And ultimately, I think for me, once they took care of Patient, it was already a really... it was a big deciding round. He was off the top fragger from last series or from last game. He got 12 kills at the end of Chalet. So he did really well, and to take him off the board early on, a crucial trade. And the Clash almost didn't get him. The Clash placed down her shield, almost didn't get the kill into Patient. I think actually might have been the Melusi next to her that actually got the kill, but she was certainly a great distraction. That teamwork really made the dream work on the Aqua side.
Well, as I can say, let's go Mj1. They're showing a really strong, start now, and that's what we wanted to see. After the 7-0, yes, it wasn't completely close, but there were obvious mistakes, and it looks like they've tried to fix that up this time. Only thing I'm going to be a little bit more cautious in is the fact that, yes, we have A two-brow. Yes, we have a mute. Yes, Kaid and Bandit have been taken off the board, but that's not enough to really stop anybody from trying to go for this rush. As you can see, 3 players going straight up to that wall, hopefully going to try and go for the quick detonation because Thermite's here. They know there's only 1 player on site, and even that player is in the back room. He's not paying attention. It's all going to come up to whether or not anyone's really there to cover, because one can just run straight to stacks, goes to the plant. That Maestro camera is going to be your biggest problem, and that's not actually going to be able to hit him from where he's standing. So the fuse is going to go down safely. There's no one there to stop anything really, and as Glaz can see, smoke shots for days are really broken, really strong. Maestro has to challenge directly now. And it's not going to be enough when Thermite's just lying down in the corner, sleeping like a child. So, 4v5, 1 player upstairs, Mute trying to go for the hatch, but he knows he's not safe. He's got to challenge his player up here. Goes for the gunfight, but he's 2 HP in the dream. Can't take it, though. And Two-Brow's been downed as well. Glaz is answering his own and takes out 1 more. Just up to the castle, gets the person dropping the hatch, tries to go for the swing on the Glaz, but he's not going to be able to find much. He's got 14 seconds. He has to push in. Only problem is, there's not enough intel for him to go for it safely. That Twitch drone is just going to be there to annoy him. No more timer, he can't go for the diffuser. So it's time to just pad the KD or just, you know, relax for a bit. And it looks like Glaz is going to be the one to take that kill.
A fantastic attack there, really nice and fast. I think it's a very similar Femboy to what we saw in the last map, where they were defending quick and then now they're attacking fast as well, which works really well for them. I really love to see that from them. I think the Glaz choice was unique. I hadn't seen that before. Or at least not much in previous series, and smoke out the entire bomb site means the defenders have nowhere to go. They can't see where they're going. They can't see where the plant's going down, apart from the Maestro camp. But the Maestro seemed to not be able to either, or it was either that he couldn't do much, or he didn't, you know, he wasn't paying attention. Who knows what it could have been, but he didn't end up denying that plant. It was perfectly blocked, I think, by the multi-shield, so maybe that's why. A great plant spot. It was a really comfortable spot. You mentioned the Thermite in the corner. Really nice spot for him to sit in. Just sleeping there, chilling. And no worries in the world. There's no way the defenders are really going to predict that when you have so many other players to take care of. When they were trying to perform that retake, but it just wasn't to be. That Glaz was too powerful outside, and the KB on the garage taking care of any flanks. And any Romans was a really good point as well. Could have easily been flanked and caught off guard if the attackers are not paying attention there. But thankfully they were able to get that taken care of. And yeah, we're seeing a first hand on the ball for Femboy, but now already MJ are looking better than the previous series. I hope they can keep this going, so we have a comeback on our hands.
Okay, you can say that, but I'm going to say quick, hard, fast. It doesn't matter. They're going to answer with their own. Mj1 have shown that they do know how to play the game. It's just taking them a couple seconds to wake up. They needed their croissants, they needed their coffees, and that's fair. I probably need the same, especially after that first match. And this is the time that it'd be actually showing it. Because as you can see, there's no donuts except for Patient on the Fem side this time, and Warden on the other, meaning that it's equal. They're actually fighting tooth and nail. It's coming out to the strats. Yes, a quick rush does work, but it's not always going to. If you're prepared for it, you can catch people off guard, and if they don't actually drone this, that castle could ruin everyone's day if he's not found. But it does work both ways if they try to push into B as well. It is only 1 operator on site, which has been a problem in the past for quite a lot of teams, especially if they're trying to go for that push. But here's something I'm noticing, and I'm not sure if you've noticed it as well. Yes, Bravo's being brought because they're expecting the Maestro cams to come as well. He wasn't. So Bravo in this case, I wouldn't say is the perfect pick. Yes, he can pick the Foundry Mines. Yes, he can catch the Omais, but they've chosen guns for days. Mj1 have chosen to play Fem's game, and they might actually play it better if they can get this early engagement, because there's not a lot of drones they can actually use. Fem have seemed to be showing a little bit of problem on their intel knowledge, but it's worked out in the past. We just gotta wait and see. They're clearing the top floor, 1.5 minutes left. They do have a direction into sight, but as timer takes away that sixth defender will start coming up, creeping up for that clutch ace. And now I'm hoping for 2 things. Deimos has 4 of the operators tracked. As you can see, you've got Wamai, Asami, Fenrir, and Castle. But if he can actually find his pick, Dokebi losing a little bit of HP and actually takes out Eunice quickly, that's going to be painful. That Fenrir doing work. But Aspirin is there to clutch back and take out one of his own, taking Wamai off the board. But a 4v4 isn't always in the side of the attackers, especially on this map where you've got another player roaming around on the second floor who, if Asami can get a pick here, it can go huge, especially for the last 40 seconds.
They certainly can. A 4v4 for both these teams. They're running out of time here, Femboy. They've only got 40 seconds on the clock. They've just now taken the top floor. And Von wants to kill onto Ice as well. There might be another kill coming through for the GOAT here. His army running down the stairs, getting a little bit of damage into Aspen, but not enough to get the final kill. And Patient fragging out once again, gets his first kill of this map onto Aslor to get him now in a 3v3. And drop down immediately into the site towards the tank area and break this castle barricade. No C4s to catch the attackers off guard, so they'll be able to break this down safely, but they're running out of time again. 15 seconds now, they have to push straight in, and they have to check these angles nice and quickly, and Patient gets a fantastic shot onto Von there to take him off the board. Now it's a 2v3, and they try and push through into the bomb site. Diffuser in hand, Geo's going to plant that down directly into the smoke, but if they push through the smoke, this could work out for the defense. Jogo gets one, his army gets one. Can he get a second? No, he can't see it. Oh, he does get him eventually, but the plant does go down in the end. So Aspen now is a 2v1, but the plant is down. All he has to do is sit here and wait for the notification to come through. Gets one. Can he get a second? The second one peaks, but can't land the shots just yet. It's a 1v1. Flashes come out. He tried to start a defuse, but the flash scared him off. Now he's going to go to the double window, and the pings are there for Aspirin too. So now he can just sit here and play this masterfully on top of the warehouse hatch. 20 seconds remain. Plenty of time to defuse this bomb. Oh, that's such a nice bait from Aspirin. Bait. Oh, he's still going for it. He's trying to. He has to defuse it.
To waste anymore. If you get off it again, that's another round going to Fem. But again, it comes out to that mental game. They've been twitching all night with him, and that's the problem when you let somebody play with you for that first map. It will get into your head. We know MJ can do better than this, and we've seen it. So I'm going to hold them to it now. I'm going to expect them to show the work they've done in their previous matches, because this is the minor grand finals. Something where you also have to remember, yes, they're getting into it. They might have a couple of people in talking in their ears, making sure that you got to clear comms. You got to think about it. You've just got your bans out of the way, which is good. Getting rid of Thermite and Clash is probably going to be one of the best bans you can set. That means Habana and Striker are still on the board, of course, and Ace, and Fuse. Well, no, sorry, Ace has been off. Fuse is still there, meaning that there's a lot that can be done if they go to this first floor, which, as you can see now, we're going to storage. That's where the aspect's going to have to come out to. Whether they can get the right read on this bomb site, either choose to take the window and go for the quick plant again, or whether they're going to get caught off guard by other operators such as Fenrir or Gorio. Gorio can do amazing work, as we've seen previously, and I'm hoping to see it again.
I'd agree with that. I really hope so. I mean, you were talking about the speed of the attack for Femboy. I think my gut's saying they're going to do a fast push, especially with that blitz switch up from Geo. And they've been doing fast pushes regardless of the operators, really, typically. They like to play that fast play, especially if they see a chance to exploit a lack of defense on the site. We've seen again here a really heavy roam. They could take full advantage of that and push straight into the bomb site. And a retake wouldn't be too challenging for the defense, but obviously with the positions that Femboy have taken in these post plants, it's very hard to counter that. And that play in the last round from Aspirin is just masterful on top of the hatch. He had the exact plan in mind, and it worked out perfectly for him. We saw there the last couple of bans coming through as well. The Clash and Thermite taken off the board, as you saw there. Doesn't surprise me to see the Clash go. We saw the Clash used a couple of rounds in this game so far, and she's been pretty impactful. A great distraction, just kind of an annoyance for the attack. So it doesn't surprise me to see her go off the board. I'm interested by the storage pick. Do you think storage is a viable site? Do you think Labs is another one of these sites another one of these maps where all the sites are viable, or do you think storage is a little bit trickier to defend compared to the other bomb sites?
It's tricky, but it's viable. I don't understand where you're going with that question, but the important factor is actually going to come out to whether they can get the right read. Ash going for this castle, quickly trying to go for the rush, but Goyo's real close to the door, and he does actually get his pick anyway, even for his life, and he's traded out immediately because of Vaughn. It's those sort of moments where even if you have the right read or you have the right site, it's going to come down to how the team chooses to go for the execution. As you can see, the nades are there working out, and there we go. Grim almost losing his life. He actually does survive just because the SMG does not have enough bullets, but also the fact that Yunus gets a read frag, exactly what needed, equalizing it to 3v3 very early on. Grim has been pushed out of position, which is great to start it, but site having that top floor control, Castle being here again, just lurking and doing work, but he has to drop hatch quickly because, as you can see, breach charges are coming out for them. They try to go for the Graham again, go for the Striker this time, but they just can't find it. So they have map control, they still have site control, they haven't got top floor, which is a bit of something you don't want to really lose on this site. You asked if it's viable? Yes, as long as you make 3 criteria. Time is on your side, sight is controls on your side, or you've got the gun skill where you're comfortable fighting through vertical. And right now, it feels like that smoke is not comfortable, losing a lot of HP very quickly, but he's still trying. That's one of the most important factors. The smoke caster pushing the Ram out of position very early on, but with her last gadget being done, Smoke's got shotgun in hand. He just has to peek the Goyo and hopefully get the kill, but no, Ram peeks at just the right time to cover the Grim. It's one of those things where it's a 2v3, you just gotta be prepared for that fight. And they weren't prepared for the off angle coming up from above. Grim jumps in, goes to the plant. It's got 30 seconds left. There's no smokes. There's no castle now anymore because of that above top floor control. That's why I was always saying it's essential. Grim has been down though, which is a very good start. Now just needing to isolate the rafters one-on-ones, but he doesn't know how close the players are on rafters. If he can find one of them, he can go for the pick and then try to go down and fight it again. But with the defuse, nope. That R4C with an ACOG, it needs to be removed again. I'm sorry, it's so strong, but as you can see there quickly, quick peek, takes the kill. 1v3. It's okay, especially on a map like Nighthaven Labs, where a lot of teams are more comfortable on the attack versus the defense. But they still need to try and equalize the 3-3, giving them the best statistical chance, at least in this idea of winning versus losing. It's coming up to it. Mj1 are losing, but only on certain mistakes. It's whether they're forgetting about the basics of Siege, or whether they've been scrimming so many other teams where they've just not done the research. Fem, on the other hand, look like they're dedicated to trying to take this victory, and that's fair. They had a day off to go through this, go through the scrims, be prepared for it, but they've just got to be a smooth operator about it and try to take that victory.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, I think so far they're being very smooth in this win. They've only lost one round so far in, what would it be, 11 rounds? 10 wins and 1 loss so far is their record in this series so far, and you can't get much better than that. I think in terms of why MG are losing, I think it's a bit of confidence too. I think they're not very, maybe the 7-0 loss in map 1 has really done harm to their mental. We saw, isn't that previous round, a big thing I noticed was there were 2 people who checked that vertical angle, and both players who peeked that, like a little breach, I think it was in the pool room. There's a wall, there was a hole in the ceiling, and 2 players looked through it. Both the times they were looking through onto a player on the attack. I think it was actually the Ram both times maybe. And they both had a chance to kill her and still couldn't land the shots and couldn't finish off the kill. Would have been a crucial kill to get, especially the I think it was a mute you saw early in the round. Again, couldn't quite land a shot with SMG11. Also played a bit difficult angle. Then we also had, I think it was a cast who also checked the angle and still couldn't land a shot. So it's things like that which make me nervous about their confidence. Maybe they are just overplaying and maybe they're burnt out, who knows. Asping gets the opening kill though onto Capcan, so that's not a great start for them, and that's certainly not a good boost to their confidence. Just over 2 minutes still to go and they've already got that big advantage. Looks like Yuns this time has been the frag on the side of Femboy for this game, and 9-2 so far in just 4 rounds, which is a fantastic start for him. That's 2 kills around the average, playing that Buck. They actually got Buck and Ram on this specific attack. A lot of vertical angles they can do with that, and they've been taking advantage of that. They've been doing a lot of vertical angles, both sides have actually, the attack and the defense. I think it's a great choice for this map. It's got a lot of wooden floors on this map. I was talking about how spacious it was at the start of this series, and it's definitely been shown to do so far. Patient getting the angle onto Aslor. Aslor 0-4 so far in this game. Hasn't been able to quite get started, but he could get started here with a crucial kill onto Patient, but he runs away in the end. And Malusi nearly gets her feet taken off. Is she going to peek this again? Now, it wouldn't be a wise choice, I don't think. But Wamai's going to come and peek out here. Coda looking to get a kill and does get it onto Patient, making it a 4v4, a crucial kill at the start of this round. Gio on the blitz again. You've seen him choose that a couple of times in this series. Making his way down the staircase here into the hallway, just outside the bomb site.
Well, you can never count Mj1 out. As you can see, they went for the turtle shot thinking he'll be safer, but they realized that they are just blocking themselves in because of how tight this site is. Kitchen's one of those ones where you don't want to be turning your back to your opponent. Coda being taken out just from a simple runaway strat, that's not always the best chance to do, but it happens. A 3v4. Oh, am I still in the first floor lounge? But he has been pinged by a camera when he tries to go in the corner. The problem is the angle from above was not your friend. For now, making sure that make the right decision, either to back away or try to go for an engagement on a different operator is normally a safer choice, but you do not want to leave anything up to chance. Hatches can be opened. There's a lot of things that can be done. Kitchen isn't always great for this. You got to be prepared for that every time. As you can see quickly from the stats and scoreboards, 6, 6 for Vaughn. He is fighting to try and claw us back against Yum's 9. And that goes to show that these teams, yes, one might be stronger on the teamwork, but the other one is just getting perfect work. No, the turnaround wasn't there for it. They do get their own 2 quick. Femboy do take this first round, but Vaughn is still going to try and fight for it. Gets one, gets flashed, has to go for the window challenge, but he's not going to win it because he's just not being able to see it. That frost mat did not activate in time just because the kill got out in time.
It's a bit too close there. Wow, a little bit too close for the Femboy attack there. That was a fade nil loss. Had Ash gotten that force mat, could have been a fade different story. The attackers may have finished the kill, but they were already deep inside. I think they were just outside kitchens. They might not have gotten the kill in time. Very lucky that Ash ran in just in time. But that was a bit too close. I mean, they spent a lot of time on the top floor. They had a bit of trouble with the vertical pressure. They ended up getting the final kills there to finish off the round, making it now 4-1. I think a 40 would be really important for MJ here. A 5-1 split would not look good, especially after a 7-0 loss. It'd be a real shame to see them do that. I think it would be a lot more positive to see a 4-2. I think it's a reasonable scoreline on Live and Labs. If you say that teams are more confident on the attack, a 4-2 isn't a disastrous scoreline. There's definitely room to come back in that score. I've seen a mirror from Coda. I find it interesting. I mean, this could work out. I've seen mirror a lot on Night Heaven Labs. Great, especially on this warehouse side. Great for covering that door, but it also means that you're kind of stuck in the corner if you get stuck there. So that could be a problem. I have a feeling the attackers could easily take care of that using this buck and using all the vertical pressure they've been using so far. So that could be a problem, but we'll see. I mean, I think Amir's a really good choice. Has to C4 as well, making it 2 with the Valkyrie of the goat there as well. And looks like they're also covering the aqua side. So covering that side of the map, very good idea, especially if Monty tries to flank again. We'll see if Ice makes that same choice. He's going to make his way through into warehouse though. So the same thing again as we saw in the first round of this map. Making his way through warehouse, then he's probably going to rotate towards the aqua side perhaps as well, as we saw previously. Another shield being placed down there just outside of IT by the mirror. So, or not by the mirror, sorry, by the warden of Von, who's top lagging so far for his team so far. Really good performance from him. He's been getting all the really crucial frags in these rounds, but hasn't been able to result in many round wins for his team, unfortunately. Just over 2 minutes now, and they're taking control of the main door, the main floor, with Monty doing a bit of a solo push here. Ice on his own on the garage side, making his way through. A Maverick trick coming out in the meantime as he does that, which is going to be good for the mirror. He's going to have full lines of sight onto him. And you better just watch him, keep an eye out, make sure he's behaving himself, make sure he's not pushing in too early. But in the meantime, Valky comes up with a flank, but Patient just sees it coming, drones him out, and gets that kill onto the goat to take him off the board, make it now a 5v4 on this round.
There's a reason why I hate Ash's headshot hitbox. It doesn't exist half the time, and I completely agree. But this is the point. Mj1 aren't actually losing for anything other than silly mistakes. Getting caught out from unknown information or getting caught out due to the fact of the challenging the wrong angles. It's just a slipping up a little bit here. I'm going to actually fault that to Fems actually taking the time to do the research on the team on these 2 playstyles of this map. They knew what map type they wanted to go to, and it's working out wonders for them. The only problem is, when it works so well, you have to be prepared for any sort of comeback. I'm still going to go for MJ1 to try and get this. Oh, the chancing on that, almost getting a fight to be able to take out this Ash would have been perfect. But as Patience has just woke up, there's no time for Patience anymore. It's all coming down to Geo getting that kill in Dakota, but as they're getting one, refragging it very quickly, which is perfect, leaving Fem in a 4v1, and that's MJ1. It's all up to the Sentry, which, again, is a great operator to try and clutch it out for. He can hear the diffuser going down, but he goes for one pick, gets it beautifully, even a double. Now he's just got to go for the ace. Sees the multi, is not able to catch him on the flip back, but the pre-fire does not work in his favor. Ice wins it. Good time to go for a tactical. This is the time where you want to wake up, talk to your team, and be like, yeah, how should we be playing this out? I'm going to ask you, just very quickly off the top of your head and my own, because of the fact of, it's 1-5. It's not impossible. It is your time for your attacking side. It's important to make sure you know what strategy going into this. So I'm going to ask you, how do you clutch this back?
Oh, that's the $1 million question really for MJ. I think that's going to be what they're discussing right now. That's going to be what they decide. I think maybe counting with fast pushes of their own could work out well. I think doing something like that could be successful for them. I think we saw they didn't have much success on their attacks in the previous map. So everything they were doing wrong on Chalet needs to be removed or edited or adjusted on labs now. I think the main problem was their fragging. They were just losing their gunfights. I think to fix that, of course, you can't just fix your aim in one map. So you have to attack them from multiple angles. I think would be the best course of action for them. That would help them out the most. So attacking from multiple angles would be good. Perhaps with operators like the Cable, or Jack, as I mentioned before. You could be getting numerous other ones too. I think vertical angles could also do really well. We saw how the Ash was being utilised there below the mirror. Something like that for MJ on their attacks could be really useful for them. I think vertical, as we've seen from this map so far, several rounds have been almost defined by the use of vertical angles previously in this round. And then we see the Clash and Maverick ban. And the Maverick is actually not too much of a surprise. I think it probably would have been better to maybe ban a hard breach. We've seen that more so in the series so far, but maybe they want to keep the hard breaches on the board. Who knows? That is what one a secondary hard breach, I would say, because typically you're going to see a Thermite and the Ace, but the Maverick is also being used as well. And then then they do ban the Thermite as well. So that makes sense. Mirror being taken off the board too, so MJ don't want to play against a Mirror despite playing it. Again, not a shocker there. But I also think Mirror wasn't even that useful, so I don't know how useful of a ban that would have been. But there you go. We are going to see Turbo coming out as well as the Frost on the defense. Good, two very good choices. So they are going to bring the double Breach Denial as well as that Frost. We see Frost actually, we saw I think one near Frost kill on Chalet. I don't know if we saw much more success with her, but it's just more time wasting. You have to check for them. You have to be aware that they could be there in a round. And it's very easy in these kind of intense games, especially when you're behind mentally and literally in the game. It's very hard to focus on those small details in a game like this. We're going to see a top floor defense from Femboy here, 2 rounds away from taking the minor championship in ELC Series 6. So they're going to be riding high on that momentum. They've won now, I think, I want to say 2 or 3 rounds in a row. So they're doing extremely well, and they just have to keep it going now for 2 more rounds.
I do want to point this out. One of the Twitch chatters have just given a really good example of it is the fact that, as you said, details are being missed or not being paid or being overly tunnel visioned on. The fact that the multi is getting away with so much is actually being a little bit of a detriment. But as there's no Monty and C4s are being flung out because this 2-brow is still itching for kills, that's a lot of utility wasted very early. But again, it's 2-brow. He's got a lot more utility to offer, so you can't just fault them for it. One of the more interesting parts of this game is the fact that if Blitz, as we've seen from Mj1, can get in without too much warrior design, he could just push in. That Frost match should have been destroyed on this window, and there we go. Blitz's walk straight up now, has complete Raptors control. Just a little bit dazed and stunned, but he's here. He's safe up to the Raptors door. Now the angle is there to be covered. That 2-brow does slow down his teammates from pushing in, but they can no longer go for that reinforcement. Quick nades just being arced up perfectly. Hopefully this flashbang is going to be enough to push the players out. Oh, team kill coming out. Mj1, no. That is what happens when the jitters aren't working and you're trying to play and dance around it. You don't want to be dancing. They are able to answer with their own quick taking out Geo, but then it's taken away from them again very early on. That is harsh when Buck has to be taken off the board, but it comes out to it. Mistakes do happen. They wake up from them. They clutch out. This is the one round where they can make those mistakes, though. But now, it might be a better chance for this Damo to try and hunt down this Bandit, but no, Bandit swings perfectly as the camera gets shot out. And he takes out the Demos. It's a 2v. Never mind a quick team kill. Vaughn not having any of Skoda's anything today and just takes him out quickly. Aspirin ends the round. It's coming out to... They understand the mistakes they're making. They are having fun with it now. But it's not over. Yes, it's Siege. It's not over till Gridlock starts singing. And that's where one of the important factors has to come from this. 6-1. It's the penultimate round, meaning that it's time to get a little bit electric. It is a grand finals that is harsh to swallow, and I'm talking about this for everyone. Femboy have shown a masterclass on how to be dominant, but we don't want to let that happen just yet. For now, it is coming out to when the orders shuffle, when everything comes out to it. Coda is not happy, but the BM is there. It's keeping the mood light. It's important to make sure you try to go for that clutch faster. Mj1 have actually done really well in certain rounds. Statistics don't always show the full story, so make sure to go back and look at the rest of the ELC matches they played. And I'm going to say this because of the fact it's not being shown here. Normally, the stats and statistics show that these teams are better than this. So, be prepared for it. Be prepared for that Mozzie just waking up, liven up, be prepared for that Blackbeard to start taking his fights properly with his team in support. Yes, patch notes change. Yes, these are two amazing teams. One's French, one's English, so there's a lot of bad beef going on in general. But there's still teams that scrim against each other, giving out callouts, being prepared to try to take the next, going to that major next year. I'm sure they'll be coming for the winter. Everybody in ELC should either be watching, coming to play in it, or just in general coming to join me on cast. Because as you can see, Blackbeard's rushing in with the line. They understand that it's time for now or nothing. Just rush the second floor, clear it as much as they can, using the cameras and taking all of this map zone very quickly. And Solus taking out early, exactly what was needed by the line. Making sure to take patience off the board. Perfect. Now it's a 4v5. Whether or not they can keep this top floor control is all going to come down to these C4s, but it does look like there's a little bit of lag on the side of Mozzie, so he gets down from the long angle of rafters. But he's still able to be rezzed. Down but not out is the way to play it. Things happen. You gotta be prepared for it. And there's Vaughn solidifying that kill, taking out the Mozzie. It's 5v3. Great start. Now they just have to be able to push this first floor and push out. They know where the last couple operators are. Two-Brow surviving on 1 HP in the dream as he danced through the fire and the flames. But as the guitar riff starts playing, he's gonna have to try and find a toesies of this Blackbeard, because this man is a menace if you let him walk around without anything to do. Quickly tries to push up, but he's not able to find it.
Now 5v3 for the attack. They're going to be in a very tight spot now. Multiple players on the defense on very low HP, and just some very small damage on the attacking side, so they're in a much more advantageous position. And that makes it even worse now with the go getting the kill there onto Geo. And this will be a very hard round to win now. They're not impossible, and they're going to be a good spot to Aspin gets a good start there onto the Monty, takes him, or the Blackbeard, sorry, takes him off the board with the help of those smokes. Very good play from him, but now he's being flashed out. He's completely blind with the shotgun. Can he get a kill onto the attack? And he's being shot from above as well. Ice gets one cut, makes it even better. This was a 4v2, and now it's going to be a 3v2. Or sorry, it was a 5v2, now it's going to be a 3v2. Oh, the attackers are full HP, Ice is literally on screen.
Twitch, Frost, Smoke. You don't want to be focusing on that. You want to have the Twitch and Smoke getting into the engagement. Those quick drones coming out, hopefully finding their pick and giving out intel. This is why you have that 30 seconds. You got the time to make it count. You have those intel utilities. You can see both of them on site, and there's Ice getting taken down quickly by the Twitch drone. That's why the utility is so important. The call out has come out that somebody's on the door, so they can try to go for the pre-fire. But the SMG-11, it does work. They know they only have to focus on one of them, either going for the plant to try and bait it, or try to go for the kill, and it works amazingly when Vaughn just perfect cinema, just pre-fires and gets the head of the player. So 6-2, it's not over yet. Everyone's been worrying about them. It looks like Mj1 have just finally had their wine and their whiskeys and have woken up to it, and that's what we love to see. Most important factors are going to come out to storage control. We're going back down to this bomb site. We've got Echo, Solus, Valkyrie, Bandit, and Fenrir taking us downstairs. But the attack still has that 6th pick, but I think they found their lineup. I think they found what they needed. They're not worried about hard breachers. They're not worried about anything else other than clearing. Clear the top floor, clear the second, just make your way down. Only problem is, I'm hoping they can give a bit of a change of perspective for the side of Mj1. And I want to ask you that quickly as a question. Do you think Mj1 will do a lot better if they tried coming in from below?
I think it'd be a positive change, yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of the roaming seems to be on the top floor, so they can maybe flank around behind the anchors on the site. There probably won't be that many, because there seems to be a lot of heavy roam, especially on labs in general, but even on Femboy's defense here. So that could definitely help. I think it certainly could be. I mean, it wouldn't be wise to do a full push from downstairs, I don't think. I think you have to have some separation would be good. Some segregation of GTs here would be beneficial. Having some people on the top floor, just clearing out that roam, distracting them from that pressure from below. But I think it could absolutely work. I'm unsure whether they will go for it. I mean, on this bomb site, they could be a choice they go for. We'll see that what they're going to choose here. Going to go from, I want to say the north side, but I'm not actually sure what side, but it's going to be into the reception area for Twitch. Coda's making his way quickly in. Already gaining a lot more confidence from that double TK round, a very unfortunate round from them. Almost blew the entire series on its head, and now it's going to be even worse with the go again taken off the board immediately. That's most of their vertical pressure already gone, and now it's not from below, it's from the first floor, but it works out well. Ice gets taken off the board, immediately, and that's going to be the Fenrir off the board. But utility could still be very useful in this round. We'll see how it goes. P19 hand for Patient. The breach gets opened right in his face, and he's forced to drop down to pull. So some of that roam presence is gone. Has been cleared off here, but he's now going to drop all the way down to the first floor, and not much more trouble for him. But looks like they're going for the opposite of what he suggested. They're going from the top floor instead of the bottom. I think so far it's working out well, but here comes a vertical angle from Patient. Nothing just yet, just teasing it a little bit, but can he take care of GOG? He's all alone with the bearing 9, and he's forced to rotate it back down. That's very sensible there. You want his utility, especially at the end of a round, and now the defenders are going to go to the basement instead, so they're going to be defending from the basement rather than MJ attacking from the basement like we suggested. So I think that's going to be better. It's going to be a great place for the Echo to hide out on the tank side here, and Yuns gets to kill onto Zorn as he I think Zorn might be lagging a little bit there, but that's fine. Yuns gets to kill onto him, make it now a 4v3 with a minute and a half remaining on this round. They are now a minute and a half away from potentially taking the minor championship. They just have to take care of these two players on this side of the map. Like I said, one's trying to push their way into the hallway, but can't quite get anything yet. They're taking their time. They're going a bit too slowly here. The drones are lacking. They have literally no drones at all yet. You can see in the top left of your screen, all X's on their side. They have to just push in using raw gun power, and the Echo's going to just distort their view, making it even harder. And Yuns gets a kill, make triple kill in the round for him. Going for the ace. Can he get it? Aspen steals it, but Yuns gets the final kill on this round, and it's a 7-2 victory and a 2-0 win in the series to make Femboy your minor champions.
You come back to our lovely faces now, but I'm going to have to say, I respect it. I actually do. They played it hard, but it just came out to the better read. I do have the statistics from the first match, and I'll get the statistics for the second one for you in a second, but that's tough, and I do mean this in the best way. So, do you understand that this was the minor finals, and that's the most important factor to this? If it had went the distance to all 3 maps, it could have done so much to ruin so many people's days, and that's why I would have loved to see us go to border. But it happens, it does happen. And congratulations to Femboys on their lower bracket run. I'm just going to quickly pull up the bracket here in 2 seconds, because as you can see, it'll take a second to upload, of course, but they've made the whole distance. They went from semi-finals dropping, just continuing back. And that's not something you always want to see, but it's something that needs to happen. Those underdog stories of people who get sent down there fighting tooth and nail to make it, sometimes people say they get the easier run. No. It means you have no safety net. It means things can go wrong. No expectations could have taken from them just 2 days ago, but they didn't get the chance. And that's why it's so important to see teams like this. Fair play, and fair play to my British brothers on the Femboy side. You did work. I agree. It was just a man thing, of course. But for the side of Mj1, look back at the VODs, take your time to improve. I look forward to seeing you guys in the major. I look forward to seeing you guys come up to tier 2. I look forward to seeing you guys eventually hopefully take out GK, or much better in my opinion, take out Shaiko. Just that would make my day immediately. So for the side of MJ1, thank you all. Thank you to everybody who's here. Thank you for being my casting buddy today, Dan. I'll let you give us a quick closing argument and then we'll end it.
Yeah, sounds good. Just an amazing performance from Femboy in the series. 7-0 followed by a 7-2 on Chalet and Labs respectively. A little bit some hope was there for MJ on map 2. I think they gained some momentum back. Maybe Femboy got a little bit overconfident. I think honestly just their strategy and their fragging potential just was a bit too much to handle. They seem to be more prepared. I think MJ had some stuff prepared. I feel like they just couldn't execute it. Maybe it's not well practiced enough. Maybe it was just overworked. Clearly, as you were mentioning multiple times, they're not the team. That's not a regular performance for them. That was clearly a very rough day for them. Maybe they just got a bit nervous. Of course, you know, they might not have played for a little bit in an official series. Who knows? We know that Femboy just played 2 days ago. You watched them play. So they had a bit of momentum. They're very well practiced, very well warmed up. That would have helped a lot, I think. But the fact they were just that dominant was really shocking. Even with that practice, you think they would be able to put up more of a fight, but no, they couldn't do it. I want to shout out, I mean, in terms of MVP, I'm going to pick, I'm going to go for Patient, I would say, just as a play sticks out, or maybe Aspirin or Cossack. So I might give it to the whole team. I kind of want to pick one though, just to point out a player who I think did really well. I'm going to say Aspirin. I think Aspirin did well in both series as a kind of more of a supported player, more of a flex, I feel, from his operator choices. And we saw him on that post plan in one round, did amazing work in that. So that would be probably my MVP choice. Actually, might have an interview coming through as well for one player from Femboy, so we had to talk to one of them. I'm not sure who that's going to be, but whoever it is, they have great insights because everyone performed really well on the side of Femboy. So I would say the whole team did well, and yeah, I can't say anything more. I'm really lost for words of how well they played in this grand final series.
I've just been whispered into my ear asking you to do an interview, so we're not actually going to cut it just here. Dan, you are free to go if you want to, but I'd happy to have you stay so we can ask a couple questions. But
yeah, it
sounds like we're going to have one of the players from Fem come in here and give us a quick chat, give us a quick talk. So I look forward to hearing it. It will take me a couple seconds, so we'll go for a 2-second break while we set up the interview. Everybody in chat, don't go too far. Go get a cup of tea, or in this case, a Salvatore or condolences wine. Of course, I understand. So give us 2 seconds as we just quickly load this out, and we'll be back in a sec. As we have our lovely chatters ready, Dan, are you ready for an interview with Patient today? So, I just dropped everything on the floor quickly. So, Patient, give us a quick introduction of who you are for the team of Femboy, and congratulations as well. 2 seconds. Your microphone has decided to say no, not today. Try again.
Oh, is it?
There we go. There, I fixed it.
I'm Patient. I'm an entry for the Femboy project from the UK. Big up, and really happy with how the team performed in these last few games. Like at the start, obviously we dropped into the losers bracket. It was a bit rocky. It was a bit, how's this gonna go? And we brung it home. We did the home run. We made it to finals, and it just started. Something clicked, or I don't know. We scrimmed less, and we won more. I think it was just maybe a burnout, or who knows. Really proud of the team.
Did you, because as a lot of people at home probably didn't get to watch all the matches consistently because some were played off stream, what's your history with Mj1? Did you scrim against them? Have you played them in the past? What was the situation there?
We did scrim against them. I think in the group stages or early on in the tournament, we played Mj1 and we lost to them on Lair. I believe it was a BO1. And that was a bit of a blow because we'd scrimmed them prior to that after seeing that they were in the minor B with us. And we did beat them up in the scrim. I think it was two maps and it was 9-3 both maps. So we went into that game, the BO1, thinking it was going to be a breeze. And I guess we were just too cocky, too overconfident, and we got humbled.
Well, it does happen when you're just not doing your research, you're not taking the time to take care of yourself. As you said, you got a little bit burned out trying to rush it, but hey, it does happen. But for now, you did work and you won today's grand finals. So I'm gonna let Dan ask you a question, and I'll ask one of my own.
Sure. Well, it's a much quicker series than everyone expected, I imagine, in this series. So, after map one, how did you feel after the map? Because it must have been a shock to win by that much. How did your team react to that? Did you feel like you were going to win immediately? For other teams who might be watching, who might be learning from how to react in such a dominant series, in general, did your team react in a certain way after the 7-0?
There was a lot of screaming, a lot of passion, just absolute ice in the veins, especially after that round where unfortunately Gio's power cut out, and we still managed to win that 4v5, and it was just beautifully played by the gents.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That was a surprise to us as well because we saw the disconnect and we thought, okay, now they're in a bit of a rough spot. They were getting control quickly, the attacking side, and they still came through, and that was really good. Just one final question from me. I mean, we saw a lot of great fragging from you guys today. Would you say that's your main strong point? I mean, are your team preparing lots and lots of strats ahead of time for games like this, or do you kind of just wing it on the day and try and frag out the best you can, or and adapt on the way, or what's your typical approach for these kind of games?
So for defense, we have a strat book, and we've got like 1 or 2 strats, and then maybe a pocket strat, which is like a one-off that we can run. And then on attack, it is kind of just go with the flow. But we practice our takes. We know, oh, we're going to go solar side, we're going to go, library side, whatever. Not much more than that. We do scrim a lot. We've scrimmed probably every 3rd day for the last year.
Okay, I do have to ask because he's asked my question, but I want to know one very simple thing. Nighthaven Labs, the Rush Strat Smoke Monty Plant. Did you have any drones watching it, or did you just have a hunch like, oh, there's one guy, we'll just do it?
I think we saw that they had like a really heavy extension into like I think there was a guy on rafters, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep,
and
they're
there was a
all
couple
web stuff.
guys, yeah. And we saw, hold on, that's a lot of people. And then Gio's going, one on site, let's go, let's go, let's go.
So no drones, we just rushed it and it worked wonders. So it happens. Your own teammates are now calling you out for leaking strats, so you will probably get reprimanded. I do
Oh,
apologize
no.
for that. But the most important factor is thank you, Patient, for being here. Give out your shout out to your team, give a shout out to whoever else you need to, and we'll see you at Spoons after, I'm sure.
Just shout out. I mean, everyone did bits. Like Yuns in that Nighthaven Labs game, he went absolutely like insane. Aspirin, like on Chalet, the little top floor roam that me and him were doing, where we were just getting powered, and he was just one dead, next one dead, next one dead. My absolute king, Aspirin. I love him. Gio, brains of the operation. What a goat. And Ice, he's all right.
He's going to be coming for you after that, I'm sure. But I've just got to say, thank you for coming on for the interview. Congratulations again. Thank you to everybody at home. We'll probably be ending the stream in a second. So, anybody got anything you want to say in chat? Do it now quickly because once it's done, it's done. So, thank you, Patient. We'll catch you later. And we're just going to call it there.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Thanks for playing.
In a bit, guys.
See you later.